So, quick video. I am still making my iceberg video, but I wanted to do a quick video talking about Star Rail's new patch, new story, Penacony, part 1 of I don't know how many, but let's talk about it real quickly. I blazed through the story in about a day. Let's just go through this story, well, not really the story, but let's go through my experience with the story, and generally how I feel about the entirety of this region. So, Penacony, let's, I guess, just start with how it looks. I really like the visual aesthetic of this area. It's very, very enjoyable to see. I have no problems whatsoever. I think it's beautiful all around. I think it's a good aesthetic to go for. Very unique. I'm surprised I honestly went for it. And yeah, overall, don't have any complaints. All the characters look excellent for the region. They all have their own unique charm visually speaking. I would probably say Firefly is my favorite design-wise, but that's also just because I almost always like white-haired anime characters. That's always the case. Moving on to the gimmicks, because every single region within a Hoyoverse game always has some gimmick relating to some part of their gameplay. Genshin, they have like the Electro-Oculus or Electro-Gana or whatever it's called. You know, the thingy that lets you teleport all over the place. Fontaine has the swimming and all that. For HSR, it doesn't really seem like that's not much different than like the other Hoyo games. I don't think they're going to go as hard with the gimmicks, but regardless, this area does have a gimmick, at least when it comes to the puzzles. They have this rubber hose cartoon character that you play as for the most part for some of the puzzles, as well as a bunch of perspective puzzles, like a lot of them. Those perspective puzzles are enjoyable, not too hard, but they're enjoyable. And in regards to the rubber hose dude, yeah, I don't know, that I guess is fun. It's fine. Don't really have strong feelings about that one. In regards to the story now, this is the most important part, because I feel like I'm pretty judgmental of Hoyoverse stories a lot of the time. I actually am really liking this story, surprisingly. It hasn't really surprised me yet, for the most part, but it's still enjoyable. Mysteries are some of my favorite. Mystery as a genre is just one of my favorite genres. Mysteries, I like looking at them, I like trying to solve them ahead of time, and in general, this is no exception. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm really happy with that. Now let's get to the main crux of the story, since I talk about the genre, but I want to actually talk about the story as a whole. I will talk about it without I'll try to avoid spoilers at first, but I'm probably going to get into that at some point. I'll put the timestamps from when and where, like, I will be talking about spoilers, like, you know, right now, actually, I'll put them right there. Look right here. Generally speaking, I would say that the story is pretty enjoyable, which, like I said, it feels like it's pretty odd for me to say that, because I feel like I'm really judgmental of Hoyo stories, but they actually please me. The visuals, obviously, like I mentioned, are really good, but I actually kind of like the fact that they made they have like a very good thematic centering around the story. Penacony cities seems like really pretty on the outside, and like there's no issues with it. It's just all glitz and glamour. But the story seems like it's trying to tell us that there is something deeper at hand, which I like that idea. It's very basic, kind of cliche, but it's cliche for a reason. I mean, it's like, it is a good tried and true method of storytelling. It is good, and it's well done here. Talking about characters, I think the beginning of the quest, you start with meeting Acheron. That was very interesting, and I'm really, really interested to see where this is going to go, at least in regards to her character. Black Swan, I feel like she's a good character, but I also feel like very little connection to her. They still haven't really bucked the trend of, like, you know, making the IPC likable. Like, the IPC is always unlikable, it seems. I feel like I'm gonna get flack for saying that, but I didn't like Topaz as a... I don't dislike Topaz, but her reasons for doing things kind of makes me feel like, dang, you were really... I really dislike your method of operation, and to some extent, honestly, just the way that you think. Ratio, I think, is a part of the IPC. Ratio has a good motive again, but like, he's so pretentious that it just pisses me off. And Aventurine is honestly not that different, in my opinion. I really do not like the way that he speaks. The IPC just seems to fail to produce a character who's likable, which is odd because I kind of expected the Genius Society to be like that, but so far, honestly, the Genius Society, her is like kind of annoying, but like, even though Ron May is not like a good person, and I'm sure Screwlum isn't either, they're both honestly pretty likable characters. But I don't know, the IPC, not so much. The main centerpiece of this quest seems to be Firefly for the most part, and yeah, I mean, I really like Firefly. She's, like I said, probably my favorite character in this story so far for Penacony. I feel like I don't have that much interest so far in characters like Robin and Sunday, but at the same time, they barely did anything in the story so far, so meh. Overall, I guess I'll talk about the deeper spoilers at hand here. Firefly dying, kind of expected it, but it still hurt, which is a good thing to me, because, you know, I always say that, like, I've always told my friends that you could have a predictable story. It's not a good thing to have, but you could have a predictable story, just make sure that you actually execute on it well, and they executed on it pretty well, in my opinion. I feel like maybe you could argue that they went a little quick, but all things considered, I think they did it well. As for Sparkle, yeah, I don't know, she exists also. She kind of feel like she's similar to Black Swan in that regard. She kind of just exists. I feel like the characters that I'm mainly focused on here are Acheron, Firefly, Sam, and Aventurine. Like, I feel like all in all, those four are the ones who are the most interesting and the ones I'm going to be probably paying attention to the most here. Sunday and Robin will appear more frequently, and I'm sure Sparkle will too, so they're probably all going to appear more frequently, but the ones I'm mainly focused on are Sam, Acheron, and Aventurine. I'm sure we're also going to get more information on Firefly, since I kind of didn't say anything, any confirmation about anything that's happening with her. I said she died, but we technically don't even really know what happened, since they refused to talk about it much within the story's scope. I wonder, I feel like they probably just are making sure that we don't learn anything too quickly. I don't know. Regardless, I think the story's pretty enjoyable, puzzles are pretty enjoyable, the aesthetic is enjoyable, the characters are enjoyable. This is probably the best region so far, based on this one part, if they continue to follow through with it. Really excited to see where it goes. This is overall really enjoyable, which is surprising to me, because like I said, I kind of feel like I have like some level, like, I have a tendency to kind of crap on Hoyo stuff, even though I play them all the time. But yeah, I don't know. All in all, I feel like, generally speaking, I'm excited for the next part. Really hope Firefly is playable, because I will save everything to roll for her, but if not, sad. Overall, yeah, I don't really think there's much I could say in conclusion. I really enjoyed everything about it. I know I'm repeating this, but yeah, I need to make sure to let the people who are skipping this video. Yeah, I enjoyed everything about this. Everything is good about this. If you didn't play it yet, make sure to play it. It's very enjoyable. Surprisingly so. And yeah, I don't think there's much else I have to say about this. There's a lot of Jade income in this patch, it seems, so that's cool, I guess. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you guys. So thank you guys for watching this quick little run through of Penacony, and see you in the next one. I will be uploading the Evil People in Fiction Iceberg sometime in the coming days. I just need to finish that. That video was pretty fun to do, so look forward to that. I also have a really cool video idea that I'm gonna put out there eventually. I got all the information I need, I just need to actually record it. So, I'm pretty excited about the coming days with these videos. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.